Hello, everybody. Welcome to CVG-TV. My name is Gregory Parks, and you are watching ConLink. With me in the studio today, from the DEI Department of Convergence, please welcome Charlene. Hello, how you doing?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Good to see you.
Uh-huh.
And thanks for spending time with us today.
Of course.
So please tell all of us out there who might not know what the DEI Department does.
So, before the convention, we do a lot. We do tabling with other conventions like Detour. And we also do tabling at local events like Pride to get other people interested in the convention. We talk to other departments about what they might need, like talking to Main Stage about whether or not we need ASL interpreters, what pieces of media are going to need Braille on them, or things like that. And at the convention, we take care of the table. We man it with things like accessibility stuff, single-use headphones, and we make sure that there are masks and small hand sanitizers always stocked there. We make sure to stock bathrooms with period products and prophylactics. And we make sure that we put up gender-neutral signage before we go. In fact, the director of commerce, who also overlooks DEIA, recently came up with an idea just this morning of whether or not we could put maps on the outside of our bathrooms so that we could have like a little layout of, does this bathroom have stalls? How many? Does this one have urinals? How many?
Oh, yeah.
Is this a closet? Is this accessible, etc.?
Yeah.
So that people can just know before they go in and they aren't like, oh.
Yeah, that's a great idea. That's just because I've been seeing that a lot more in town here, just in the Twin Cities, on places that have bathrooms, have gender neutral bathrooms. Like this has 2 urinals, 2 stalls. This has 3 stalls, and more information that increases accessibility because more information allows people to make more informed choices. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's always helpful.
Yeah. And I will apologize. I left accessibility out of the department title because y'all do a lot. Like the accessibility table, the DEIA table, is right across from Nerf Herders at a very, very clear location. So, what are some of the activities that are, so these, you've discussed the benefits and the things that y'all do. What are some of the activities that DEIA coordinates during the con?
This is going to be our 4th year in which we have done the BIPOC Mixer. We have recently been collaborating with the local convention Confluence to also have their people there so that we can also introduce games. And this year, I'm very excited to say officially that I was able to contact somebody whose job is the Minnesota Doodle booth. And so it's like a photo booth, except she very, very quickly and super cutely doodles people's faces and cosplays. So if you're able to go to the BIPOC Mixer, it's a good day to wear a little cute cosplay.
And get a good doodle of yourself.
And get a good doodle.
So which day of the con will that be?
It's going to be from 3:30 to 5:30 on Friday.
3:30 to 5:30 on Friday, and that is in Space Lounge. It's been in Space Lounge in the past. It's still going to be in Space Lounge.
Staying in Space Lounge.
Okay. That's a nice chill spot to have it.
I know.
When I haven't had conflicts, I've made it to a couple, and that's just a great open space to be.
And I really like us being able to take advantage of the big dome that's inside of Space Lounge as like a nice little sensory spot. If you don't want to like necessarily be a part of the music that's happening or a lot of the conversation, that you can have just a nice quiet-ish place to be with your people. Yeah.
And that, and in general, accessibility, everybody benefits from accessibility measures. Like not only at Convergence as well as in the larger world. And it's been good to see see the table there and get to know familiar faces from year to year at the table, and to see how that impacts everybody positively. And because you were mentioning, one of the other things you mentioned was period products and prophylactics in the bathroom, which I've noticed those are taken advantage of.
Yeah.
Because people have, again, people have access to it. It's like, oh, I can use this, I have this. And of course, emergencies and situations, a lot of unforeseen need happens at Convergence.
Yeah.
So it's just as important as having that cosplay repair station.
Yeah, and we're always expanding. And that is also one of the parts in which we're finding that we have more need of people to help us stock those places because of the needs that you named. And also that we're trying to figure out a better and easier way to make sure that people can distribute those products. Especially like making sure that we have a person who like has identifiable, like a sash or something cute.
Yeah.
So that people know, like, oh, I'm not just in here to be in here. I'm in here to make sure that I'm doing a job. Yeah.
So what I'm hearing you say is that the DEIA department has volunteer opportunities.
So many. Both before and at the con. A lot of them are actually before we even get to the convention. There's a lot of coordinating that needs to be done. And on my end, I want to expand where we do tabling so that we can do more outreach to people of color. And we also do the attendance and financial grants. And we need people to look over people's applications and vet the application so we can make sure that we're asking the right questions to the right people. Yeah, there's a lot of work to be done more before the convention than there is actually at it, which is, I find, easier to work into your schedule. Because as somebody who does this and also does a lot of panels,
you know
that it's like, it's a lot nicer to be able to get your volunteer hours in and be able to have your convention as much as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a really easy way to help contribute and get that done.
Exactly. And like the work that the department has done, I've noticed an impact. I've seen more people from more people with varied range of abilities, physical abilities or disability, and more people of color attending Convergence every year. And one of the years I met a high school student who went to the fair school, who attended the fair school, and he attended and he had full support from his teacher to incorporate the creation of his cosplay as a class project.
Oh.
So that's one of the things. Yeah, that's probably the one that sticks out over the past several years.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Quite a bit.
Yeah.
And that's that's due in part to your department.
Yeah. There's a lot that I don't get to see what the impact is because I'm so busy trying to push the needle forward.
Yeah.
That knowing that things like that are happening, that it's actually moving the needle more than I can perceive is really great.
If I may step back a little bit.
Yeah.
You did mention attendance grants. Is that period done as of this recording? So we are at the very end of May. Is there still time to apply for the attendance grants?
Oh yeah, there's still time. If you want to get one of the hard badges, one of the hard plastic badges, which makes check-in and registration a lot easier.
Yes.
So the lines aren't nearly as long.
Yes.
Then that needs to be done well before June 10th.
Okay.
But I believe that we are fulfilling those all the way up until Saturday of con.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Again, that kind of ties into accessibility because some people, timing with lifing or even neurodiversity and object permanence or procrastination, that makes those grants, that increases the accessibility of those grants. Wow. So.
And thank goodness that we've finally started doing day passes, which also makes that a good part of the process, that if you only need or able to go just the one day, that the amount of money that's in the pool can only be applied to just a day pass, and that allows more people to still be able to benefit from it.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything that we haven't covered that you're looking forward to at the convention, or that you that I have not mentioned?
Oh, yes. Okay. So recently, I also did an interview with Publications that was talking more about the BIPOC mixer. That's probably going to cover a lot more stuff than I'm going to remember to cover today. But one thing that came up in our conversation that I want to do in years forward is to expand the mixer to being all 4 days, just for a clip of time, just for about an hour or two.
Yeah.
But I want us to be able to combine with teens, to be able to have like teens and youth who are people of color, to be able to have a space to hang out with each other. Because one of the things that I noticed in going through our attendance grants is a lot of parents want to introduce their kids to it, or their nieces or their nephews. And yeah, even though we have teen rooms, even though we have teen hours in Space Lounge, I think it would be nice to have the teen BIPOC room meld into those teen hours if we can manage to make all 3 departments be able to work together. And maybe see if we could have like a sensory day for BIPOC people, like a couple of hours in a different part of the convention.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I don't really want to be in a place that's like very loud.
Yeah.
And Space Lounge can get kind of bumping. But like one where it's just like, hey, we're chill, we're hanging out, we're maybe like just reading in a little space together, and we could just hang out. So yeah, I'm thinking about doing stuff like that moving forward.
Amazing.
And that's one thing that I'd like people to look forward to.
Yeah. And people already do look forward to the things that have been brought to light, and there's just more to come.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, thank you for taking time out of your day to speak with us here.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me.
And it's good to see you, and we will see you at Convergence.
Yeah, you will.
And we will see you all at Convergence. Thank you for joining us here at ConLink. My name is Gregory Parks. We'll see you again.
Convergence 2026. Welcome to Comedy Through the Chaos.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Convergence, put your hands together again for yourselves. Welcome to Comedy Through the Chaos. I am Miss Shannan. Happy to have you all here. This is going to be a fun time. If you are not familiar with Comedy Through the Chaos, it's a little storytelling and stand-up variety show that I do with some good, funny friends of mine, where we talk about some complicated subject matters out there and give you an opportunity to use humor to help unspool some of those. We also give you an opportunity to be involved from your seat, so we're going to get to that in just a second. So make some noise if you've been to a Comedy Through the Chaos show before. Fabulous. All right, now I need a smattering of applause from the people who have not seen us before. Put your hands together. Thank you, new friends. Hopefully you will have a lovely time and you will get involved. We also have a way for not only our people who are watching us here, but if you happen to be watching us on CVG-TV and you're up in one of the hotel rooms, you will be able to get involved as well, people who are watching us from afar, because we want everybody to have an opportunity to be involved in the show. And the way that works is that every time we do one of these shows, whether you see us here at Convergence or you see us out in the wild, we have a different theme. And so as part of the Geek and Machine umbrella, here's what our theme is for this year. We are going to be talking about the glitch in the system. All of those times where places in your life, things get miswired. They maybe go a little awry. Free to get your mobile devices out. That includes anyone who is watching us from afar. Feel free to get your mobile devices out. If you're able to follow a QR code, I'm now going to give it to you. It looks like this. Go ahead, get out your mobile devices. Go ahead and scan that QR code, or you can go to the website slideswith.com/glitch. That's slideswith.com/glitch. If you cannot use the QR code, again, that's slideswith.com/glitch. That will work for everybody who is up in the rooms as well. I see some people who are squinting at their phones as if they need to move from regular glasses to progressives. Trust me, it's beautiful. Be involved with your eyesight. It is great. So again, I'm going to give you 10, 9, 8, Again, at any time, you can go ahead and also go to slideswith.com/glitch if you did not have a chance to get involved so far. The other thing that's cool about this is that if any of our friends who are watching afar would like to go ahead and throw some emojis into the chat and into the show throughout all of our performances, they can do that as well, so they can clap from abroad. So let's practice this. Everybody who's in the room, go ahead and put your hands together. Yes. Let me see how that's going to sound. Go ahead, a round of applause, everybody. Because the way that this works best is that there will be plenty of opportunities for you to go ahead and get involved, but also we are performers, and so that means that we feed on the fact that you will laugh out loud and on the outside. And I try to remind that to all of my Midwestern friends, because I know that we are not always accomplished or practiced at showing emotions on the outside. So I want to let you know that this is a free range emotions on the outside performance. Is that okay, everybody? I'm going to ask you again, because I know I just scared you and half of you had an anxiety attack. Are you okay putting your emotions on the outside, friends? Fabulous. We're going to start with our first chance for you to interact from your seat. So here we go. Tonight, as I said, our theme is glitch in the system. We're going to start with a multiple choice question. Everybody get ready. You can check any of these. Now, which error message best describes your life right now? Which error message best describes your life right now? Our choices to begin with are 404, self not found. B, low battery, please connect to a therapist. C, update available, and you're like me, you've just been hitting reset and refresh and for months. Or D, access denied, nobody authorized this level of chaos. Everybody get your choices in. A, B, C, or D. That goes for everybody up in the rooms again. Also, A, B, C, or D in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's see what you guys picked. Oh, look at that. All right, you've just been hitting that remind me tomorrow button time and time and time and time again. I always wonder if we keep trying to reschedule, if eventually whatever system we are operating on will just glitch to the point that it turns off whatever the device is. Because I think that kind of falls in line with a lot of the way that my life has worked, so I can relate to all of those people. Everybody who is trying to connect to a therapist, we appreciate you as well. Hopefully you have a good mental wellness practitioner in your life. If not, I think that we should all exchange some names afterwards. I had that situation where I was having a really good relationship with my mental wellness professional, but then we became friends, so then I had to fire them. Because you don't want your mental wellness professional to be your friend, right? Because I have friends and they are great people to be around with, but they will also lie to my face if they think it'll make me feel better. So no healing happens when you have friends that can't be mean to you like that. And I don't mean like they are just mean as like it's a sport. I mean like honest mean. That's a whole different kind of mean, where I'm just like, that mean hurt, but it felt good later. So I like that. I think it's always interesting that we have a few people that said self not found, and that's a complicated exploration process. I think I felt like that a lot when I was in my 20s and 30s, that I was still trying to figure out who I was. And then I think sometimes what you do when you're going through that whole process, you figure out who you are for a little while, and then you're like, maybe I was pretending. Maybe that's not who I am anymore, and I have to find something else again. So I encourage everybody to continue to have that exploration as they move on. And that kind of sums up a lot of what my life was like as I was moving into my 40s. And so I had all of these realizations. I think once I hit 45, there were a lot of things that were happening. I think that just as humans in general, you go through these plateaus and then things change and then you come back to them again. And so when I was hitting around 45, that was when I was doing the whole single mom thing. I was trying to do all the things, which is something that many of us can do. You can do all the things, but isn't it more difficult to try and do all the things all at the same time? And so that was where I was at that point in my life. And so in the summer of 2019, everybody think back to that in the before times. Things seemed so easy before you knew that anybody sitting next to you could be riddled with germs and viruses. When you went to the grocery store back then, if you needed a plastic bag, you actually licked a finger and then pulled it off of a roll. But back then, before they told us how long you should wash your hands, I thought that we all knew that, but I guess we didn't. That was a lesson we had to learn in 2020. So back in the peaceful before times of 2019, I was actually having the roughest summer I had ever had. Now, I've always been one of those people that had to deal with a variety of anxiety challenges. I used to mask it by saying that I was type A. Because if you say you're type A, that means that I'm crushing it. It never sounds like it's crushing you, because you put a name on it that makes it sound like you'll be good on a job and you can get it on your resume. And so I was very proud of being type A. So I was doing all the career stuff. I was doing the single mom thing. I was doing everything. And then the summer of 2019, my son had the hardest summer he had had in our entire relationship. And so he was 13 at the time. He happens to be high supports on the autism spectrum, and he was in crisis. And since he was in crisis, that means I was in crisis. But you don't get to be in crisis when you're the mom and you're trying to make sure that your kid's out of crisis. Any other parents in the room? Make some noise. So what we do is we go, hey, you know what? I don't need to have any care for myself because I'm caring for somebody else. And so you spend all the time working on that. And that I was doing is I was continually taking that type A personality and using that to kick all of the anxiety that I had into the next day. Day after day after day. And that's what continued to happen over the summer. And then I also want to remind you that anxiety works a lot like your immune system does, because all of these things are systems. And so similar to you'll be incredibly busy, and the minute you sit down or you start to have a vacation, and then suddenly your immune system will say, you know what, I think I'm going to be sick now. And you get one of those awkward colds where it's like, I'm finally resting, and this is what you do to me, body, betrayal. That's basically the emotional thing that happened to me. So we have this incredible, difficult summer. The first day that things calmed down, and I remember it vividly because we were sitting in our basement where our family room is, and my son, for the first time, asked me to read him a book. And I had this mom glow and this joy of reading him this book, and I opened the book to the first page, and it was beautiful. And I looked at that page, and then the next thing that happened was somehow I lost 10 minutes of time. It was like in a movie where something flashes forward and you're like, oh my gosh, I feel like I was just sitting here. I don't think I passed out, but I don't know what's been happening over the last few minutes of time. So I, like many of you here who is a sci-fi and fantasy friend, immediately start snapping to what is the most dramatic sci-fi related reality that could be happening. I didn't sit there and say immediately that I'm like, oh, you're probably having a panic attack. I was like, oh my gosh, why did the Matrix just glitch? And then I went through all of the other panic-ridden thoughts that I could have. Oh my gosh, I need to get out of the basement. There's probably some sort of carbon monoxide leak. We're in danger. So I crawled upstairs and I was like, okay, he seems fine. Why do I feel so bad? And then I got like a little pain in my arm and I'm like, that's just your anxiety. You're fine. That's just your anxiety. You're fine. And then I had the realization that not only am I a comedian, I'm also a voice actor. And I literally have voiced the stroke and heart attack awareness spots for the market of the Twin Cities. And I'm like, you can't die with a stroke or a heart attack awareness right now. You're the ones that told everybody to call 911. So I called my mom, who lives close by, and I called 911. And I happen to live in the city of Crystal, a wonderful first-ring suburb. They came over. So what happened next is that I decided that I needed to get outside. And the reason I did that is not because I was worried that anything bad would happen to me. What I was worried is because my son, I used to worry about him having elopement issues. And so when you watch those old Seinfeld episodes and they have to unlock 15 locks to get the door open, that's what I have. So I'm like, oh my gosh, they're going to barricade. They're going to think you're barricaded in here and then knock your door down or throw gas tanks in. Because again, you don't make the best decisions when you watch too many sci-fi movies and then you're in the midst of an anxiety attack. You're like, everything apocalyptic is happening all at the same time in my house in Crystal, Minnesota. That sounds right. So I opened the door, I went out, I sat down on my stairs, and I sat there and I was waiting for the cops and waiting for the ambulance to come, and I started crying, sobbing, deep tears, mom guilt of a year and a half of thinking that I hadn't done the right thing. Not cute tears, not those tears where somebody came by from Central Casting and dropped a couple of times in there. That ugly sobbing where the tears are streaking down your face, and occasionally you're like, is that water or snot? I don't know. Crying. And by then, my mom shows up. I'm like, cool, all right. And right behind her, then the law enforcement came because they want to make sure that you're going to do anything to the first responders. So they show up. And he was one of those cops that wasn't violent, but he was like way too chill in a way that just makes you nervous. So I went and I was going to sob and cry and crawl into my house. And I, on all fours, crawled gingerly into my kitchen. And my mom, who also happens to be a black woman, but a black woman who was born in the 1950s, she said, Shannan, you don't want the cops in your house. So I crawled back outside to the stoop and decided that that was a safer place to continue sobbing. And then finally, the ambulance showed up, and when the ambulance showed up, the paramedics came out, and this is when everything starts to go awry. And again, when your system is glitching, you don't know that it's glitching. You just know that you're doing whatever you're doing, and there are other things happening around you, and you don't know that they actually can make things make sense. So what had happened is I start talking to the first responder, a lovely woman, someone who is trying to be understanding and telling me, you're a really good mom, you're doing all the right things, you just need to have more help. Have you heard of a CADI waiver, a CDCS waiver, all of this alphabet soup that parents who have autistic kids know, but I don't expect anybody in real life to know. So the fact that she's saying this, I am now sure that I am hallucinating. Because why would this strange lady know this alphabet soup of words that she's saying at me? So I'm sure that I am projecting it. And it's something like when you hear all the stories about those people that do like all the hallucinogenics and all of a sudden they could see the world through like a big laser light, that's what I'm thinking is happening. Well, I didn't know that this woman had actually talked to my mom first, and my mom had told her that I had a son who was on the autism spectrum, and it turns out that this first responder was also a mother who had a son on the autism spectrum. So she was saying all of these words. So again, real life is happening as my system is glitching. I'm like, this isn't going to work for me. They're like, let us just take you to the hospital. I'm like, that sounds fine. Or are you kidnapping me? Because I'm not ready for your shenanigans. But I decided I was going to go. I got to the hospital. And I get there, and then that's when things continue to go awry. And they sit there, and they're like, hey, Miss Paul, I think you should get sedated. I'm like, oh, the hell no. What are you trying to do? And then the gentleman who was talking to me that was actually going to sedate me so that I could stop panicking and stop mom sobbing, which I have now been doing for hours at this point. Look, there are some times, I told you that you don't want a friend that lies to you, but sometimes you do need to lie to strangers. And this would have been a great opportunity for me to practice that skill, but I am not by nature a liar, because this guy starts asking me some questions that seem like they have nothing to do with the fact that I'm having an anxiety attack to the point that I had to come to the hospital and get sedated. Because the first thing he asked me is, so, what is it you do? I should have lied. Anything with a bit of better answer than what I said was the truth, and I said, I'm a comedian. His response, oh, everybody used to tell me I was funny. They said I should have been a comedian. What about this seems real right now? I don't think any of this seems real. And so I'm still sitting there deciding if I'm going to let this guy go ahead and sedate me. And the next thing he says, well, who's your favorite comedian? Again, I should have lied. I just said some stuff. I actually mentioned a friend of mine who had just done a Netflix special. And I said, Tracy Ashley. He's like, Tracy Ashley? I thought you were going to say like Richard Pryor or Chris Rock. That seems more sense. And at that point, I hit the apex of my system glitching. And I remember yelling, I just need you to get my phone. Where's my phone? Where's my phone? Because at that point, what I wanted to do was call somebody to tell me that what's happening around me actually was happening. Because I was so far into the glitch that I couldn't tell what was real, what was up or down, where I really was, but I needed somebody to tell me that things were true. And so I called a friend of mine. She brought my sister, and then when my sister and my friend got to the hospital, I was able to say, okay, this is real. They are not just trying to get me back into the matrix. I'll go ahead and rest. And so then I allowed myself to get sedated. I woke up a couple of hours later, and I felt so much better, and I went to a friend's house, and I slept, and I felt so much better again that I said the first thing that I need to do is figure out how to fix our sleep. And it was the first time, and at that point, 3 years, that I gave myself a chance to say that rest is appropriate. And I bring that up because I think a lot of us end up doing that we look at rest like it's suspect. We look at it like it's obviously not what we're supposed to have, and if we end up thinking about it at all, we have that moment where we feel guilty. Where you go, this isn't something that I need. It means that rest is for the weak. If I sit there and I look at all of these things, it doesn't mean that I am as tough as I am, and I need to be the one that goes ahead and pushes through all of these things when our system is glitching. And I also want to remind us that sometimes the reason that your system starts to glitch is so that you have a reminder that things need to be repaired. And maybe you need to look at an opportunity to try and figure out, how can I move this forward so that things do not continue to get to the point where they actually break down? So I encourage you to do this. Instead of questioning everything that you do, instead of calling it type A, call it what it is, high-functioning anxiety. Give yourself a chance to go ahead and explore and see what it is that you're hiding from, what it is that little you back when you were 8 or 9 didn't have a chance to explore. Maybe you're in your 20s, maybe in your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, or your 70s, but no matter where you are along that journey, if your system is starting to glitch, you now are in a position to sit there and go, you know what? Before I get all the way to all of those self-not-found errors, before it gets to the point that I have to reboot completely, maybe there's a way I can just do a little update and get through things a little bit easier before they end up throwing our entire system into the garbage. So is that okay, everybody? Are we good? As I said, throughout the evening, you're going to have a variety of ways to interact. You can always go ahead and throw those emojis into the system as you do this. And then I'm going to have other ways for you to go ahead and participate. And interspersed with that, I have 4 of my incredibly funny friends. Now, here's the way it works. I always give them, hey, here's what we're talking about. Here's the audience. But they don't tell me what they're going to say. So we get to all explore this all together. So are you ready for your next performer to take the stage? Make some noise, everybody. Now, our next performer is not glitching at all. You can see him perform throughout the Twin Cities. He's an amazing, not only comedian, improviser, you can see him doing all kinds of sketches all throughout the interwebs, so we encourage you to do that. And he has one of the most amazing accolades I have ever had the chance to share with you. He was the second funniest person throughout the entire Twin Cities in 2018. Please welcome to our Comedy Through the Chaos stage, MJ Matheson.
Keep it going for Shannon, everybody. Yeah. Hi, Convergence. How are we? That tired? It's only Friday. Wow. I heard the crowd. I was gonna stage dive. I think that's a lot of pressure on you. I don't want to do that to you, buddy. That'd be a glitch. I called my mom today. I was like, I glitch in the system. What joke should I tell? My mom was like, oh, honey, you're like a glitch in the system in our family. I know. I preferred accident. Yeah, I was like, cool. And I felt bad, so I'm like, I'm gonna tell people that, and I'm gonna do an impression of you on stage. I do an impression of my dad, but I'd have to leave the stage. Do you know what I mean? Okay, cool. All right, we're having fun. It's good. You don't get up here without childhood trauma, I'll tell you that. It's real good times. I did get raised by my mom, and I also had 4 older sisters growing up. And I was the baby and the only boy. So I can see why she was like, oh, a glitch. But I had friends who had brothers, older brothers, and I would like get beat up by my older sisters, and I'd go to them and be like, oh, dude, my older sisters beat me up. They're like, psh, you're a little bitch. I was like, that's what they said. And then they'd beat me up, and we got along, but I was telling my friends, I'm like, dude, it's really rough. He's like, nah, dude, having older brothers mess you up. I was like, yeah, older sisters can mess you up too, just mentally and emotionally for the rest of your life. He's like, nah, dude. My older brother tackled me one time, landed on my elbow. Every time I open it, it clicks. I was like, okay. One time, my sister said something so mean to me, I could never wear corduroy. Which one do you want? Take your pick. You want to be clicky elbow guy or guy who never looks good and fall? It's fine though. But it was strange growing up because like, they didn't explain a lot of stuff to me because I just assumed what was happening to everyone would happen to me. Some of you are reading ahead, some of you haven't. Let me just be clear. For way too long in my life, I was waiting to get my period. And it's so reassuring when you tell strangers and they laugh at that, because it was not funny to me when I found out. Because it's like, I watched every sibling of mine go through this, right? And I'm just like, I'm next. Like, here we go. It's gonna be a good day. I'm gonna get taken out of school. I have to go to the mall. I'm gonna get a Cinnabon and an Auntie Anne's pretzel. Just put them together if I'm there. I remember the day I found out my dream wasn't coming true. And again, it was like 2nd or 3rd grade. Again, way too long. But I didn't want to go to school, and I tried to pretend being sick, and my mom was like, no. And I remember we were by the front door. My sisters were already in the car, and she's like, come on, honey, get in the car. We got to go to school. And I was like, oh, no. I think I have cramps. I think I'm getting my period. I'll never, ever forget this moment because my mom took the time. Like, I remember the door is open. My 4 older sisters are in the car. The muffler smoke of the Buick LeSabre is just puffing into the January morning. And she takes the time. She's about to drive 5 kids to 3 different schools and then go to work and then come and pick us up. She takes the time to get on my level. She takes her purse off her shoulder and she gets down on her knee. The way you're supposed to do with kids, you're on their level, like they see you, you see them. You're like, hey buddy, I hear you, but you gotta hear me. She's a good mom. She says, honey, get in the car. And I did. And then my sisters emotionally and mentally explained to me why what I did was wrong. And I might still get it though, you never know. It's a possibility. I'm not giving up hope yet, right? Cool, yeah. All right, that went better than I thought. She was like, don't tell that one, honey. Don't tell that one. I go, you called me a glitch. I'm gonna tell him the story. My phone is glitching. Anyone else having phone issues? It was just a minute. I just had to re-download the app, but it still upset me. I told my friend recently, I was like, man, I pay over like $100 a month for my phone, dude. Like, it's insane. He goes, shh, how often do you use it? I was like, shut up, I don't like your logic. He's right, I'm on it all the time. Like, I got this, I get to be here tonight with you because of my phone. It's weird, but it's true. He was like, yeah, man, think about this. Humans, we used to have to send birds to each other. We were high, by the way. I'm assuming you guys gathered. We had some edibles. It was after work. And then we got to talking, and it's true, you know, not very long ago in the human history, right? Like a couple hundred years ago, the fastest way to get something as a message to someone far away was another living thing, a bird. You had to write something succinctly enough on the real estate of a bird's leg and be like, they're coming at dawn, and just like, oh, I hope it gets there, you know? Like the wind doesn't pick up too much, or someone doesn't shoot it down, or it falls in love and flies to Barbados. We don't know. That's the crazy thing. Now I'm so impatient. One of my best friends in my whole life, I've known her for 20 years of my life. I send her a text. You're like, yo, what's up tonight? I see ellipsis, and they go away. Ellipsis, texting, goes away. 10 seconds go by. I throw my phone in the water. I go, I don't know you. I don't have any friends. That's how crazy it's gotten. Oh, here's my theory, though. Here's my thing. Would you all agree, and I think you will, because we're all nerds. You're my people. Wouldn't it be cool if we're paying this much a month that we each get to send one bird text and receive one bird text a month? Wouldn't that be whimsical? Like we're at one of the after parties upstairs tonight, and like we're chilling, and a bird flies in the window, and everyone's like, whoa, and I'm like, yeah, it's me. Aw, man, Alex isn't coming anymore. All right, here, come here. Here, can you draw an eggplant? Here, come here. No. Just no. Okay, now. I get a little pushback. I think I know why, because there are many, many women here, and it's the weekend. So you know that if birds were sent as texts tonight at like 1 a.m., your window's just like boom, 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 you know? And they all just say you up, you know? It's terrifying. It's like, oh my God, it's like a Hitchcock movie. like specifically the one, Hitchcock. I don't think no one's like, oh, this is just like Rear Window, you know? Like, why'd I break my leg? Whee! Okay, that's fun. Okay, think about this too. As humans did this for centuries, right? There had to have been at some point, had to have happened, someone drunk birded someone. Like probably multiple times, right? Can you imagine that horror? Like you wake up, you're having a killer feast, you know, and you're just chilling, and then you go to bed, you wake up in your chambers, and you're just like, oh, it was a good feast. And you look on the floor, and there's just empty flagons of mead and parchment and quill feathers and ink. And you're like, no, no, no. And then there's someone by the door is like, you were very adamant, sire. You're like, no, no. Oh my God, no. How many did I send? How many did I send? You'd be like, the aviary is empty, sir. You're like, no. No. You get our fastest riders, shoot them down. And then you're just chilling at a feast. And all of a sudden a bird flies in, like 2 weeks later, or a fortnight, some call it. And you get the bird and you're just like, huh? I am up. All right, go on, heck yeah. You guys were all amazing. Hope you have a fantastic weekend. Keep it going for your host. Keep it going for Shannon.
MJ Matheson, everybody. One of my favorite things about MJ is MJ reminds us that it is not a bad thing to have a vocabulary. I was reading an article where they're talking about we as human beings are starting to use less words. And that broke my heart a little bit. that there were words that we did not know anymore, especially since every year they add more words into the dictionary, but they don't make us learn the words that we used to use. So now we have to learn that something very important maybe slaps these days, but we don't know how things are glorious anymore, and that hurts my feelings. All right, everyone. Your next performer is a dear friend of mine. We have been on harrowing road trips to go and tell jokes in the middle of nowhere. We have walked through forests together on Halloween weekends because she made me. And she is truly one of the most authentic and wonderfully funny people that I know. Please welcome to our stage, Diane Sieber.
That out. Awesome. Hi, you guys. Thanks so much for coming out. Give yourselves a round of applause for being awesome. Thanks for coming out, supporting Con and Comedy Through the Chaos. It's always appreciated. Hope you like my outfit. It's all black. I thought about it. I almost came here in a red shirt, but I did that one year and I barely got out alive. We were talking about glitches. I have a fairly new day job. I sell raw metal, like aerospace, medical grade, just big sheets and tubes, giant tubes of metal. I am allergic to metal. My inventory is terrifying. It's what stopped me from being a really famous pole dancer. You know what I mean? You can't rub yourself all over. I'll just get rashy. Nobody's paying money to the rashy stripper. That's a very specific OnlyFans channel, is what that is. I was thinking I just wanted to learn new things, right? I thought I wanted to learn Gaelic, right? Because Gaelic is very useful in the business world. It's good at Con and Renfest. So I was in this little Irish shop, and they had a little section advertising classes. And they had a little card with a sample sentence on it. I took out the sample sentence and read it. In Gaelic, it didn't make any sense, so I read it underneath in English. And it said, "I am so hungry that I could eat a baby's bottom, pulled from a blackthorn bush." Glitched my brain right there, you guys, because now I wasn't thinking about learning anything anymore. I just had a lot of questions, like, is this really a menu item? Because this sounds like a terrible appetizer. I am not that hungry. And now I don't know how to speak Gaelic. I am married, and that in itself isn't a glitch, but it is filled with a lot of glitches. A good example is, I was trying to think of, I've seen a thing recently on social media where people are like hashtagging their long-term relationships, things like golden honeys and silver sweethearts and that sort of thing. And I've been married for a pretty long time, about 30 years. So I wanted to come up with one for me and my husband. And I really wanted something that would encapsulate our relationship together. And I thought long and hard, and I think I've come up with a winner. It is hashtag, a series of unfortunate events. It's a banger. I use a specific kind of a moisturizer. It's a tanning moisturizer. It doesn't look like I do right now because I'm out of it, and I'm out of it because I caught my husband using my tanning moisturizer. Not for some of the reasons you guys might think, right? He wasn't trying to make it smooth. He knows I like it ribbed for my pleasure, so it's like... But I caught him because I noticed he had like a weird reverse farmer's tan going on down here. Right? It looked pretty awkward. Sort of an Oompa Loompa situation. And I had to tell him that darker doesn't mean bigger. I don't know what he's thinking. We were working in the yard earlier today, and he had something. He picked up something in the yard, and he came up to me with it. And he comes up to me, and he's like, "Hey, what's this?" And he, thrust it out in front of me, and I looked at it and I was like, oh, that's my thong underwear. And I just grabbed it out of his hand. Right? It got a little awkward then. It was a glitch because he was like, well, I found it in the yard over there. That's not where I left it. And it was awkward because now I have to convince him that I haven't been standing outside taking off my thong underwear. But I did figure out what happened. Ladies, just a little tip for you. It turns out that I had removed the lint trap from my dryer. And thong underwear is just the right size to travel down your dryer vent and shoot out into your yard like the most awkward t-shirt cannon ever. Bonus is that I am kind of a Batman girl, and so this thong underwear has a Batman logo on it, and now it looks like I sent up a really awkward bat signal to my neighbors who don't talk to us much anymore. I bought my husband as a gift one of those VR headsets. Have you seen those things? Have you tried those things? Anybody? They're amazing. They're amazing. You put that on and it's completely immersive. I mean, you can be deep sea scuba diving and so realistic. You can be out in space battling dragons, right? You could travel the world. And the porn, I only can imagine. Exquisite. My husband was finally using it the other day. I said, "What you doing?" He says, "Fishing." Like on the moon? Deep sea? He said, "No, I found an app on here that lets me download Minnesota lakes." You understand that's the least virtual thing he could do. That's reality for him. But he was happy, so that was great. Yeah, glitches. Technology is a big one. He bought me a vibrator. Bless his heart. It doesn't look like a traditional vibrator. It doesn't look like what you think it should look like. It's oval and intimidating, and I'm not really sure what you do with it, but I'll tell you this. There's an app you download on your phone for it. There's an app on my phone for my vibrator, you guys. That is too much technology. It's got all kinds of neat things I can do. I can set up rhythms. I can set up really cool rhythms. And playlists, I can sync them up to a playlist, and then I can share them. With who? There's even a chat room. There's a chat room, and I guess I could share it with Sheila69 if I wanted, but she needs to calm down. And here's another thing. I feel like everything on your phone winds up with Homeland Security, right? I don't want ICE to come and swoop me up because I have some funky rhythms. Like, I don't want to get deported because I have sick rhythms on my app for my vibrator. That's a concern. I do also have kids, and my children are both on the autism spectrum. My son is pretty profoundly affected. My daughter, not quite so much. And it's a little harder for her because she's more aware of the prejudice and the cruelty that's out there. She's also a little too smart for her own good. When she was young, she used to get in trouble with her teachers, just pushing back typical stuff, and made worse by autism. And I would tell her, you can't do that. You can't push back on your parents and your teachers and the police. The next time you do that, I'm going to take $1 from your piggy bank. And she looked at me with all of the angst that a youngster can summon, and she said, "Oh my God. Oh my God, Mom. I cannot believe that you would steal $1 from my college fund." And I looked at her and said, "Oh my God, I can't believe you think there's a college fund." You guys have been awesome. Thank you so much for coming out and supporting everything. I hope you have a great night.
Keep it going for Diane Sieber, everybody. I think it's funny when you're a parent that has a kid. I have a kid, and we're starting summer school next week. But I know he's not excited about summer school. So a couple of years ago, I stopped calling it summer school. And I just started calling it camp. Because I feel like then it feels a little bit more special, right, if it's camp, right? Because he never went to, like, a Boy Scout or a Girl Scout camp. So he doesn't know that camp isn't you just go hang out at school for only half the day. And I think that makes sense because I never went to real camp. So who knows? This could be right. And so I just think it's better for him to be able to tell his friends, where'd you go all summer? And you're like, I was at camp. It sounds very bougie to me. So I just figured I got him new clothes for camp, good camp clothes. I didn't tell him, like, I didn't go too far, like, here's a sleeping bag. Take it with you back to the camp. Because I'm not trying to make it too weird. I'm just trying to make it easy when he gets home. And I figure maybe when he's older, he'll have a good memory because people will say, well, what did you do in your summers back when you were younger? And he'll just think he went to camp. And we'll unspool that 20 years from now. So, all right, everybody, get your mobile devices out. We have another chance for you to go ahead and participate from your seats. Here's our next question. Which sci-fi glitch most accurately describes your Monday mornings? Which sci-fi glitch most accurately describes your Monday mornings? Our choices are HAL 9000, fully operational, deeply uncooperative. You can also be Westworld host, stuck in a loop, smiling through it. C, The Matrix Deja Vu. Didn't I already do all of this again? And then finally, D, WandaVision. Things seem fine, but the genre keeps changing and nobody will explain what's happening. A, B, C, or D. Get them in there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the audience says, woo, I feel bad that so many people are stuck in a loop. I figure if there's something that we can do. So, all right, if you're in the room and you're stuck in a loop, go ahead and make some noise. Let's see how many stuck in a loop people. All right, now, back to your stuck in a loopness. Is this a loop of your own making, or is this a loop that has been forced upon you? Forced, okay, that is fair. So let's figure out a way to make a forced upon you loop feel a little bit better. Okay, all right, we're gonna workshop this so when anybody shows up on Monday, they can feel a little bit better. So I'm gonna give you some options. All right, so you walk into the loop, you start looking around, you're like, oh my gosh, I have been forced into this loop day after day. I cannot believe I am back here. Here's the first thing I want you to do. Instead of immediately going and get coffee, don't get coffee. We're not gonna take coffee. I know a lot of you are already saying sacrilege, that's not gonna work. But I'm going to say we're not going to get coffee. So instead, what we're going to bring is that you're going to bring a can of whipped cream. Stay with me. A can of whipped cream with you and some Jell-O. Wait, we're trying to add in whimsy. Don't scoff. Stay with me. So you're going to bring a can of whipped, and you don't have to make the Jell-O. That's too much work. Just stop and just cheat and get the Jell-O in the little pre-made cups, Bring that into work. And then you're going to sit there. And you're going to go to wherever your loop makes you loop, right? So if you have a desk or a cube, go to that. If you're somebody that has to drive around, just what you're going to do. You're going to pick one song. I suggest that you pick Manumana the Muppet song. You turn it on as loud as possible, right? You get a spoon, preferably like one of those really long-handled teaspoons, a long-handled teaspoon. Now, so you're going to do a long-handled teaspoon. You're going to get the whipped cream, and you're going to put a ridiculously high pile onto the Jell-O, right? And then you're going to take your extremely long spoon. You're going to start back here. And you're going to dive into the Jell-O from here, right? And then once you get to Manama, right, see? You were prepared, right? Now you're gonna do that. You're gonna make sure that you do that. And I know it's Jell-O and you don't normally have to do that full 50 bites that you're supposed to choose. You're gonna do the full 50 chews on the Jell-O. And you're gonna do it in a way that you can tell how delicious you think the Jell-O is, so that all of your coworkers have to listen to you enjoy, like all the mouth noises. And I promise you, that your loop will feel like a different loop. If you turn into are they eating Jell-O loud? And then act like you don't know. that you're eating Jell-O that loud. Does everybody need me to walk you through the steps again, or are you okay? I need you to do this next Monday and report back. If it doesn't work, we'll workshop another option. For anybody watching in your hotel rooms, green or red Jell-O, it doesn't matter. Either of them are fine. You know what? Go all out. Orange Jell-O, because that'll actually get them where they're like, is that orange Jell-O? I didn't know they made that anymore. And then report back. Is that fair? Now, one more time. We're just on the count of 3. We're just going to practice the mouth noise of Ready? 1, 2, 3. That'll get your loop broken. For everybody who isn't in a loop, you can try it as well, just because it's going to be whimsical. All right, are you guys ready for your next performance? Get on up here. Go ahead and make some noise, everybody. Now, speaking of whimsy, your next performer is definitely one of my most whimsical friends. If I was going to think of somebody who I would use the word whimsy, I would definitely consider this to that person. I would also use other words that were descriptive in nature, like squirrely. But I would definitely say very funny. So everybody, please welcome to the stage my dear friend, Joe Cocazello.
Convergence! Oh my goodness! Keep it going for Miss Shannan, everybody that's working Convergence, the volunteers. This is so much fun. Are you guys having a blast? Oh, I love this. Is my second year. So like now I know what's going on. You know, I'm loving this. This is, I do feel bad for people that are staying at the hotel that know nothing of Convergence. Do you know what I mean? They just like came to visit family and they're using Hyatt Regency points and they just, they're staying on the 4th floor. they're learning a lot about life. Oh, I love this. It's with the world being so crazy right now, like I've just been so excited for Convergence. Like it's with the world being so crazy, has made Convergence normal. Do you know what I mean? Where it's like, it's still Convergence, but you gotta know what you're getting. You know what to expect. You know where to go for what kind of fun that you wanna have. Like it's, so excited, guys. Anyone watching the World Cup? Few people. Like, all right, for you guys, all right, I know, not big sports fans, right? You're like, you're doing a sports joke, Joe? No, don't worry. There's amazing stuff that's happening with the World Cup because all of these people from all over the globe are coming and experiencing America for the first time. And it is awesome. Like the Japanese went to Texas for a soccer match in Texas, and they went and took over a bar in Texas, and they were losing their minds over barbecue and the mechanical bull. Imagine just Japanese people experiencing mechanical bull for the first time. It's awesome. It's on TikTok. It's like if you need to turn a frown upside down, like this, like German people going to like Walmart and Costco for the first time, and they're just like, it goes on and on. Everybody's losing their mind at Buc-ee's. I mean, it's already, we kind of lose our mind at Buc-ee's when we go, but like imagine it never get, like it's, the Italians are trying to smuggle ranch dressing back to Italy. In Boston, the Scottish drank all of the beer. All of the beer in Boston, except for the Bud Light. They just left the Bud Light. They're like, nah, we don't drink that trash. Sam Adams Brewery had to make emergency deliveries. Like it's bananas. It's so much fun. I wish we had it here. We could have experienced culture and people experiencing culture. They're losing their minds at Taco Bell. They're like, oh my God, I can keep refilling this soda as many times as I want. It's great to see. It's just nice to see some fun happening. People having some fun in America for once. Happy 4th of July, almost. Happy 4th of July, everybody. Or as my dog calls it, his Vietnam. God, Florida's getting ridiculous. Florida's ridiculous. They just ban books without even reading them. They just ban them. Like, I'm actually surprised that Florida hasn't banned the movie Transformers. You know what I mean? Like, they're grooming our children to be robot automobiles. Beep, bop, poop, poop. Not in my house. Okay, I've been watching a lot of like the old Superman, the TV show, and I love the story of Superman. Like he's like by day mild-mannered Clark Kent working at the Daily Planet, has the crush on Lois Lane, right? But Lois Lane, she loves Superman. So like there's like that's a fun little crux there, right? Like where Lois Lane's always just getting into trouble, always doing something stupid, trying to get the scoop, right? She's like tied up in a warehouse, and Superman has to come and save her. And then he leaves, and then Clark Kent shows up, and she's always like, Clark Kent, you dummy, you stupid, you're always missing out on everything, Clark. I can't believe you're even a reporter. You're the worst reporter. I love Superman. Like it's just a. And he had the suit and the costume and the cape on under the suit. That costume had to smell so bad. There was like wool suits back in the day, so it was just like really hot and like no air conditioning. So, and he's always like having to like go to the bathroom to change, right? And then like, so like, but he never like excuses himself like, oh, I think I had bad Lebanese food. I'm gonna be in there for a while. Everyone just assumes he has some gastrointestinal issues. He's just in the bathroom for a while. Or he like changes in an alley and he thinks he's like alone. And I just imagine like one time there was like a drunk hobo, you know, that like saw it and he like flies away. And the guy, he just like looks at the bottle and goes, I'm gonna get my life together. Like, oh, Superman. You silly goose. I love Convergence is so much fun. Like at lunchtime, you see people all dressed up, just like eating meatballs at the bar. It's just wonderful. I love it. So I had to buy, I'm getting older, I had to buy a shoulder brace recently. And because I hurt myself sleeping. It was the worst. I couldn't have hurt myself doing something, saving a baby from a burning building, like a cat from a tree. Nope, sleeping. So I'm walking around with the shoulder brace, and people are like, dude, what happened? How'd you hurt yourself? And I had to say, bad dreams. Oh, stretch it. You got to stretch. Anyone else extremely mean to their Alexa? I have a real short fuse when it comes to my Alexa. You know, because you just ask it to do something simple. You come in at night, you're like, hey Alexa, turn the lights on. And it's like now ordering toilet paper to your Amazon Prime. You're like, no, Alexa, turn the lights on. Will you please turn the now playing smooth jazz from your Spotify? And it's like now I'm burying another Alexa in my backyard at 3 a.m. The Alexa knows when the Alexa's gonna go because I'm like, hey Alexa, order an Alexa. Do I have to? Oh, all right. I'll end on this. I'm in my 40s now, and I live alone, and I worry, because like, well, what if I slip and fall? Nobody's gonna find me, right? So I've been thinking about getting that the Life Alert necklace. I would totally abuse the Life Alert necklace. Like, have you seen those commercials? They're my favorite commercials in the whole world. It's a family and they're in the kitchen. Oh no, it always starts the same. It starts with like an old lady at the bottom of the stairs with like a laundry basket next to her, and then it cuts to the family. And then the mom is like, it's like a family in the kitchen, and the mom's like, I haven't heard from my mom today. Like, it's like, and then the dad's like, oh, don't worry, she's totally fine. and then the mom's like, I don't know, she always calls by 3:30. And then like the little girl is like, is grandma all right? And then mom gets a phone call, and it's like, it's Life Alert. It's like, hi, this is Life Alert. Your mom took a spill. And then the lady's like, oh my God, is she okay? And it's like, she's all right. She's on her way to the hospital right now. Life Alert, Life Alert. We save a life every 11 seconds. Really? Every 11 seconds, like an old American is like, oh no, the stairs! Blah, 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 blah. Really? Like maybe we start by like moving mom into a Rambler. Like take the stairs out of the equation and let's see then if she still needs the life alert. I would totally abuse the life alert. I would. I've fallen and I need some cigarettes. Like, hey, you think the ambulance could DoorDash some Wendy's on the way over? Like it's. All right, guys, I got to get out of here. Enjoy Convergence. I will see you on the 4th floor. And I 30 seconds back to the show.
Keep it going for my friend Joe Casello, everybody. So the thing about Joe, I've known Joe literally for 20 years. And I just want to let you know that he has always been the little old man of our friend group. He has always been like the youngest little old man in our friend group. Kind of like Wilford Brimley. He's just always been old. All right, are you guys ready for your final performer to take the stage? Make some noise, everybody. I am very fortunate to hang out with this gentleman. He helps me produce shows, primarily for all of our nerd-related shows. So you may have seen him perform with me before, and I'm always happy to hang out with him and talk about all things related to our fandom. So please welcome to our stage, Matt Doima.
Hello, Convergence. Yes, I am Matt Doima, or as most of you know me as, Miss Shannan's assistant. Yeah, because it's a tough job to be her. Do you know how long it took me to sew all those sequins onto that Adidas tracksuit today? I had to miss, I had to miss half of the con because I'm just sitting there like a third world. Never mind, we're gonna stop that. It's my own fault. Earlier I popped a few too many gummies. That's it, I just popped too many gummies. Now I'm just lost in the light. That's how I'm glitched. I'm like, have you ever shushed a light because it's too bright? That's where I'm at right now. Like, that's my glitch. Glitch, please. Like, right, let's go, right? I told them I was gonna say that backstage. They're like, there's no way you're gonna say glitch, please. And I'm like, just watch me. I love coming to the cons. I love coming to Convergence. I do, it's my favorite thing. But you guys, you're sneaky. You're sneak group people. Oh, I get it. Oh, you guys have tabletop games, and you've got cosplay, and you have group parties. I didn't know this was a poly convention. That's amazing. Like my favorite thing to do here is play Spot the Thruple. They're always in group costume too. It's like, oh, Finn, Jake, and Princess Bubblegum. Who's the hinge? Come along with, no, all right. I guess it's better than, Sam, Frodo, and Gollum. It would explain the chain around Gollum's neck, though, so it's fun. We all know why most of you are polyamorous. You just got to get another person to be a bard in your Dungeons and Dragons game, right? I get it. You need another person. You got to roll D12 for confidence. I understand. It's fine. It's fine. Love that for you. I myself am non-monogamous, you guys, and I don't bring it up in my normal comedy career because I want to be relatable. Like, what am I going to do? Am I going to go, like, take my wives, please? There we go. There we are. You thought Joe talking about Superman smelling was going to be weird. I'm going to get real personal with you guys. It's going to be fun. Let's have some fun. Let's go. Hooray. All right. Remember, too many gummies earlier. Yeah. I took those gummies before PowerPoint karaoke, by the way, and I'm like, how do they know what the next thing is going to be? Like, that's how stoned I was. It's fun. It's fine. I'm a big thrift shopper. We have any thrift shoppers in the audience? I do. My favorite thing to do is I go to thrift stores and I buy uniforms for places and then show up and say it's my first day and see what happens. Like, what are they gonna do? Like, especially if you work for a restaurant, they need the people, right? Like, I could just show up, like, it's my first day, and maybe I have a zany adventure. Maybe I steal a keg. Maybe I fall in love with the bar back and I start a life in Bach, Minnesota. Town of 500 people. My favorite find, of course, is my lucky sweater. I love this thing. It's a glitch because I only paid $7.99 for it at a Savers in St. Cloud, Minnesota. That is the appropriate response to St. Cloud, Minnesota. I love this. I love this hoodie, not because it is a men's 2XLT and it fits me like a glove, not because it's blue and I look damn good in blue. No. It's because on the back of it, it says, "Dance, Grandma?" Men's 2 extra large tall hoodie. Dance, Grandma. Screw it. It is 2026. That is how I choose to identify. You can now, you can identify me as DG. Let's go, right? Just one pocket full of Werthers, the other one full of used Kleenexes, right? I'm just gonna get myself a little jazzy scooter with a basket in the front and a Bichon Frazee there, and just driving around like, I'm here to see my baby, meep, meep, you know what I mean? Like, the worst part about this hoodie, though, is I don't know if it's a title or a command. There's some readers in the audience. I like that. I like that. Thank you. I should have known. I should have known the polycules were going to get me today. We're good. We're good. We're good. I've been a comedian for 12 years. I go to all the hot spots like Mayville, North Dakota, and Yankton, South Dakota. Sioux City, Iowa. I get to do that. And I've been doing comedy forever. And some jokes you may hear this evening from me, I may have worked on for 8 to 10 years. And sometimes the biggest laugh I get at shows was $7.99 I spent at a thrift store. Does a little for the ego. I took a 23andMe recently. And I found out I am from all the countries that stole spices and then never used them in their cooking. That's it. It was no surprise to anybody. Speaking of cultures, did anybody have do we like a Cinco de Mayo? Did anyone go out and celebrate Cinco de Mayo? Good. Like, Cinco de Mayo is so messed up in this country. Like, we don't know what it's. Do you guys know that Cinco de Mayo is not celebrated in all of Mexico? You guys know that? Do you guys know it's not even it's celebrated in one state in Mexico? In fact, it's not even celebrated in that whole state. It's just a region of a state in Mexico celebrating a military a win. That's all it was. That's all Cinco de Mayo is. But we're like, no, we're going to wear funny hats and drink tequila. Because Americans do, we completely mess up holidays that other people do. St. Patty's Day, same thing. So what I'm hoping is that in some other country, someday someone's like, any happy Hondy days to you as well. Just a bunch of people who are not American, just wearing fucking blue jeans and a t-shirt, dressed like the Marlboro Man, eating cheeseburgers and voting for people that don't have their self-interest in mind, you know, real American shit. Right? Sorry, we're more of a Toyota-thon family. They say AI is coming for our jobs. Here's the thing, though, I'm a stand-up comedian and a bartender, and I didn't know robots could be sad. You don't want a robot bartender, by the way. You don't, because they have no incentive to hide your affair. Weren't you in last night with another girl? And he's going to tell your whole polycule and just mess up that D&D game, you know what I mean? I'm going to get in so much trouble with AI because you can edit your photos with it. So what I want to do is I just want to like edit all of my photos, take them all off Facebook, all off Instagram, everything. I just want to edit all of my photos and just make me look a little bit uglier, a little bit older, a little bit fatter, right? So that when my friends see me in real life, they're just going to be like, amazing. Wow. I didn't know legs could grow back. That's like my goal in life is have two of my friends talking and being like, damn, Matt's really let himself go. Did you see that he bought a jazzy scooter? Well, he is a dance grandma, so. I'm gonna get off on this, you guys. You guys have been way too much fun, Convergence. I love y'all. Where are my dog people at? Where are my cat people at? Where's my sugar glider people at? Stop it. And you stop, no. No, it's because it starts with, oh, you got a little friend. You got a little friend, he lives and shits in your pocket. He's cute, but guess what? They die of loneliness, so you gotta get two. And suddenly you have two little squirrels just flying around your house. Oh my God, it's so adorable, but they die because that's what they do. So you gotta get the itch, you gotta do something new. So what you do is you gotta get some furry snakes. That's right, ferrets. You gotta get two of them because they could die of loneliness as well. And they need to hunt, so you have to have live prey to watch them hunt a baby bunny. Clever girl, like just Jurassic Park, that shit, right? And then it just ramps up. You're gonna get a raccoon because you want someone to play PlayStation with. He's got the thumbs. It just keeps ramping up. It just keeps ramping up until one day you just are addicted to methamphetamine in a gay triad, digging for meat in a dumpster in Walmart to feed your murder kittens in the backyard. Yeah, that's right. Joe Exotic started with sugar gliders, you guys. Don't do it. I love pets. I'm a proud pet father of a couple dogs, a couple cats, and I love it. I am the type of person, I will go, I will pet I like your pets more than I like you. Like, I will go past you. Like, at a party, I have rubbed my face in so much strange pussy, just like, you know what I mean? That's how much I love pets. Problem is, I just feel like I'm gonna come home one day and my dog's just gonna be sitting on the couch smoking a cigarette by herself, just being like, who's the bitch? Who is she? Oh, don't pretend that you aren't around giving belly scritches all around. I can see the fur on your collar. Oh, you think you got something? Well, guess what? Me and the mailman, we got this something that happens on every day. How you like that, huh? Yeah. Just sitting there like, you called me a good girl. Does that mean nothing to you, right? Right? You know what? I'm going to say it. You know, all those times you would knock on the door and I'd pretend that somebody was there. I was faking it. Oh, you brought treats home? I love you. It's been too long. Meanwhile, my cat's in the corner like you were gone. You guys, I've been Matt Doime. I love y'all so much.
Hey, Matheson. Joko Casello. All right, everybody. Check. There we go. All right, first of all, Matt, tell them all about your podcast with Coco. So do that real quick before you go. Tell them about the podcast.
If you like a Midwesterner with an NPR voice and somehow is forced to be the type A personality with the Tasmanian devil from Brooklyn, and we interview comedians about jobs they've worked and stories. It's not just like, oh, so you had to put extra pepperoni on your pizza. No, it's like really weird. We just had a urologist on the podcast, and Joe just asked dick questions for a full hour.
I had a lot of questions.
So
Tell them the name of the podcast.
it's called @AwfulServicePod. You can find us on all platforms.
No.
It's the Awful Service Podcast. I have stickers if you want one.
Get away. All right. Thank you. MJ, tell them about Sunday.
Here in this very room, Sunday at 2:30 p.m., I'm in Star Trek: The Next Improvisation.
Yay. Diane is going to be able to be with me. If you guys would like to see another version of Comedy Through the Chaos, we do it at our residency. You'll be able to see us next Friday, July 10th at Crooners Supper Club. You can get tickets by going to croonersmn.com. And Crooners is our home where we are filming our Comedy Through the Chaos, the TV series. So that is now in post-production. Thank you for that, woo. So we are now in the midst of a crowdfunding campaign. So if you would like to be a part of the series, you can go to that QR code and make a donation. If you make a donation of $25 or more during Convergence, I will give you one of these. So you can see me anytime we are at Convergence, or you can see me tomorrow. I have a meet and greet at 4 o'clock over in the dealer's room. And you can also see me on Sunday during the Weird Music Listening Society show. So thank you for being part of the chaos. We appreciate all of you. Be well, everyone. Enjoy your con.
It's Friday night, and I feel alright. The party's here on the west side, so I reach for my 40 and I turn it up. Designated driver, take the keys to my truck. Hit the shop cause I'm faded. Honey's in the streets, say money, yo, we made it.